Okay, let's wait. Hey everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you guys are new here, my name is Jacqueline. And today I'm gonna be doing a live stream I've never done before to do like techniques on like makeup, and I've been taught some really good ones. Like don't do sharp edges, and don't put on too much, and just put on just enough. So today, for this live stream, I'll be doing a technique video about how to do the right amount of makeup and not doing too much, like I said. And before I get started, I would like everyone to subscribe, like, share, comment on this, and subscribe. And let's get started. Now, one that took me a long time to learn has how to apply eyeshadow. Now, it can be very, very challenging. It's one of like the hardest things I could have ever learned, and it kind of depends on what color you want to do. It kind of varies, but also you want to make sure you have the right kind of brush, because you don't want one that's too big or too small. So, and because that wouldn't be good. So you want one that's that you want a brush that's just right, like just the right size. So two of my favorites I like to use is like this one and this one. You guys can see. I'm gonna put a little bit closer so you guys can see these. These two are like perfect sizes for like eyeshadow. And these are about almost pretty much close to the same size too. If you had to, really think about it with these parts here. Okay, now I'm gonna show you guys with one of my favorite palettes, which is the Kylie palette. That's one of my favorites of all these. This one. Okay. And I'm gonna use this one because I use this one a lot during putting on makeup and stuff like that. So I'm gonna kneel down here so you guys can see me a little bit better. Okay. So now you want to make sure that you're putting on the right amount. You don't want to put on too much because then you won't really look good. So you want to make sure that there's no sharp edges. You want to make sure this part of your part here, especially like right here, it's smooth, so you can have a better look, and so you're not having all these sharp edges. So I'm gonna do this color that my finger's on right there. I'm gonna do that color, and I'm gonna zoom in. I'm gonna come a little bit closer so you guys can kind of see what I'm doing. So you want to make sure you're going here. I'm gonna actually switch hands because it's kind of hard to do it. Okay, so you want to make sure that you're going from here out, okay? And blending, actually, I'll teach you guys how to do that blending, because that's actually one of the hardest ones too that I learned, and it's challenging to blend. But you want to make sure you go here and you come out here, okay? And if you need to correct like the edges, that's completely fine. I mean, there might be a lot of buildup of color that might occur, but you want to make sure that you go here and you make sure that you blend. Now you want to do this circulars. You want to make sure you're doing circular, because you can't just go out. That wouldn't make it look any better. So you want to make sure that you're like doing this. You're very, very technical with exactly how you're doing it. You don't want it to be too bad, so you want to make sure your blending, especially edges, so you make sure it's all smooth. And same thing for this side. You want to make sure that you are blending like this, circular motion, okay? That's exactly what you need to do, okay? So, like I said, you can't just go here and like that, with a brush. You can't really do that because then it wouldn't really be smooth. It would be kind of crooked, you know? So you want to make sure that you're doing. Okay, actually, let me move here. You want to make sure you go like here and then outward, you know? You want to make sure, and you also want to like blend out the color too. So you want to make sure it's nice and smooth like this, nice and smooth like that. It's kind of hard to see in this camera, so pardon that. But yeah, so that's actually one of the hardest things I ever learned during like makeup techniques that my mom taught me. So then you just want to just put your brush back in here and then close it. Now the other thing, I'm gonna get up so I can get the next thing. Now the next thing that I would say is now this one can be really, really challenging, and it can be kind of hard to control. Now, putting on blush, okay, it can be challenging, especially when you want to put on too much, because that would just make you look like a clown. So what you want to do is I have this brush here, this powder brush. And what you want to do is I am using this Master Contour by Face Studio. Actually, it has blush. Has blush, highlight, and contour. So, what you want to do with this pink one is you want to pat it like 1, 2, 3, okay? And then you want to make sure you're just doing it like circular motion, okay? You don't want to just be like doing this, kind of like with the eyeshadow, but only this is like face powder, and blush. But you want to make sure you're like consistently doing this. You want to do it in like 1, 2, 3, okay? And then you want to do it circular like that, okay? It can be very challenging, especially when you accidentally put too much on your brush, and then you have way too much on your face. It's better to do tap 1, 2, 3, and then do that. Now, another blush I have is the liquid. Now, that one is the hardest one to control because, it's liquid, and it's challenging to put on too much, So what you want to do is when you have liquid blush, now it's different than powdered. This is more liquid, and so it can be very challenging. Same thing, Now, I'm not going to demonstrate because I don't want to put on too much right now, but you want to, especially with like liquid, okay? You want to make sure you go 1, 2. You don't want to put on too much because liquid blush is liquid. It's not powder, so it shows up more. And so you want to make sure you do 1, 2. And actually, and also a technique that I learned was to wet your beauty blender before it so that it can get blended better. So, yeah. So, that's just one of the things that you need to consider. I've seen a lot of people, wet their Beauty Blender before they actually blend in the liquid blush. Now, this is another one. It's very hard to do. Now, eyeliner can be so hard to do. It's so challenging to do. It can be a disaster. Like, you poke your eye so many times and you don't really mean to do it, and you regret it so many times, you know? So, let me find one. Now, this one's black, but I'll just use this one. I have browns too, but one of the things that you also have to learn is how to put on eyeliner. Now, this is like the hardest one too that I had ever learned. So you want to make sure you don't poke yourself in the eye, but you want to make sure that you go here, kind of like right where like your eyelashes are, kind of. So you want to make sure you're carefully, like, you go to like the edge here, and then you move out. So you want to make sure you're at this part where my finger is, right here, and you want to carefully do it. It can make your eyes water. Like, I've tried it a lot, and it's not done me very good things. But you want to make sure to be very, very controlled doing it, because you could poke your eye so many times, and then your eyes water. Then you have to start over, you know. But you want to make sure that it's right here, and then you're carefully doing this. So you want to make sure it's evenly, and to do that, if you want to start over here, that is great. And then go this way, okay? So, yeah, it can be very, very challenging doing it. So yeah, it's just one of those things that takes practice, and it's very, very hard, and it can be a pain doing it too. You know, so you have to have a lot of practice doing it, and it can be very, very hard. Now, foundation, okay? Now, I'm not gonna really, foundation. Like I said, I mean, that's another one where you actually have to blend really, really well. If I can find a foundation. Okay, well, I have this Essentials one, essentially from Be Pure Hydrating Serum Foundation. Now, you want to make sure you do one line here, or if you want to go like down here, you can, but you want to make sure, well, just for this one time, I will show you guys with me putting on foundation. I'll have to wash it right on off, but I can show you guys a technique that I learned, if I can find. And yeah, so putting on foundation can be very, very hard, but the hardest part is blend like really, really well, and it can be challenging. It can be a pain in the butt sometimes. But one of the things that I like to use is this natural ivory one, which I have really enjoyed. Now, this is not like a pump one, so you have to be very, very careful not to use too much. You want to make sure you have just enough, and just enough to put all over your face. Not too much, just enough. Okay, so you want to make sure, like right here, you want to have enough here. And if you need to use like the bottom of this, you can, but you want to make sure you go from here down, then up, and then, you want to make sure you like dab up like this, and then down like this, and then up like this, and then blend it out like so. And so what you want to do I like this one because it has a little point, so you can exactly know how much you need. So for this one, you want to make sure you go out, then you go down. Kind of hard to do it on camera here, but yeah. So you want to make sure you go out like this, and then down like this, and then here, and then, do the same thing, okay? That's exactly how you have to do it. You want to make sure you go here, start here, and then kind of make your way down. Kind of like make like a triangle, kind of like this, down, and then like this. It's kind of hard to do it on camera here, but I'm doing the best I can. And then the other side. Okay. The other side, you want to do the exact same thing. So when you're doing it, you want to make sure you start here, then go out like this, and then down again. And you want to make sure it's well blended. And you want to make sure like you're not doing too much. You're just doing like enough to cover your face, okay? And this can be very, very challenging, but it takes a lot of practice. And you really, really need to know exactly the techniques of it, which I'm showing you right now. So you want to make sure you start here, down here, and then you want to go here, and then color in that area. You want to make sure, and then sometimes people do like this, kind of going like back and forth and dabbing it sometimes. So that's the best way to not do too much. And I admit I would rather have like foundation pumps instead of like this where you have to be consistently careful about how much you put. It can be a pain. So the next thing I want to show you is lipstick. Now, it's kind of like the eyeshadow bit. Like you don't want to do like sharp edges. And you don't want to like color in this part. You want to make sure it's like just right on both parts. So now this is going to be kind of hard to show on camera, but you want to make sure you're right here. And you're doing that kind of motion. And then this here. Like you're doing that. And there's none that's coming out over here. Like you're doing this. And then this. Like you're doing the motion. So you want to make sure that it's even and you're not putting on too much, but you're putting on just enough to have the look. The other thing I want to show is concealer. Now, this is a little different. And this is from the Essentially one I like to use. Now, you want to make sure like you're doing this and coming back. And then the next part you want to do is do the exact other side. Here and then here and then back and forth. Or how many other times that you want to like, do it. It's kind of your choice. I just do 1, 2. But you want to make sure you're going here and then out like that. You don't want to do too much. Kind of like foundation, only this is like concealer. So you want to make sure that you start right here and then you move like right here. And then right here and then move here. And then come back too if you want to come back. But you want to make sure it's all blended and do like this kind of rotation. Okay, so you want to make sure it's well blended, and so it goes right with your skin tone, and so it's not like a big blot. Like you want to make sure like it's nice and blended and even, so you want to make sure with that. So now finishing powders are actually the most fun, actually. This is the Airspun loose face powder that I showed in my other video. I think it was from my New Year's Eve video that I did. So if you guys haven't already, like that video because I shared some really cool stuff with that. So yeah, go check that one out. I did on December 31st. Now with this one, I have a little thing here. And then sometimes it doesn't always want to come out, so you want to shake it up like this. Here, you don't want to have to put on too much, okay? Then and then you want to like do this, hold it like that. Do here and then get a little bit more, and then do it on the other side with this little pad. Okay, and if you want to do it like on the nose, you can. Then kind of on the sides to make sure it's all put together. You don't want to like go across your face because that would run your whole entire makeup. So you want to make sure it's like this. You're like patting your face. Then when you're done, you just put it in and go like that. Okay. And then you want to make sure just to do it right. So that is it for this video. If you guys want to see more of these, let me know and I will do another one some other time. I will come up with like more video ideas and I will be posting more and more. I will be busy all next week, so I might not be able to post a video next week, but stay tuned for more because there will be more coming. So if you guys like this video, don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Let's try to get to 400 subscribers, shall we? So everyone, subscribe, and I will be back for more sooner or later. So I will see you guys later. See you guys in the next video. Take care, guys. Bye.